the direct sequel to the 1974 slasher film Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But it didn't feel like that at all.
We get 2013's direct sequel Texas Chainsaw 3D.
And it's more like HD and not even grainy.
Everything that you could have foreseen going wrong pretty much did
Or
go
you
wrong.
seen it coming, you saw it came in.
They tried to tell you a story with a twist, but then the twist you already knew that she was a Sawyer and whatnot, so there really is no twist.
It's just that, like, hey, she accepted it and she's taking care of it.
Filmed in Louisiana, so no Texas feel at all. You don't get that.
And they don't show any shots of the background, so you definitely don't even know it's Louisiana.
And
or even Texas, or whatever.
You get none of the family, like we were pretty much promised. We wanted an actual sequel, as in we wanted.
Them all at the beginning, and they all get shot up like it's freaking.
They already tell you that in the synopsis,
like
that the whole family gets burned down.
Their freaking land.
So listen, we don't get Drayton. No, it reminds me of like the fucking the Devil's Rejects opening scene where they use an extra as Grandpa and they shoot up the whole place and burn it down Frankenstein style. We get no Drayton Sawyer for the rest of the movie.
Did the same
He's
thing.
the best Sawyer there is. We get a 60-year-old Leatherface. It's supposed to be real time, then they fast forward.
They start off with
They got
the original movie by just showing all the kills, and then
That's like the only part where you'd be satisfied as a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, where that's the only moment where it feels like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. They do stock footage of the original film of all the kills, summing it up for all the 16-year-olds that didn't even see it.
And it's like summing up the characters.
They treat Drayton Sawyer and Grandpa like an extra, basically.
They all get shot up like extras.
The director was the director from Takers, that horrible movie where he cast Chris Brown in it, where they're bank robbing. And he uses Trey Songz soundtrack more than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre theme.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre
How cheap.
Played out throughout it. The only thing they play is when they're doing the flashbacks where they do
the camera.
The camera. That's the only thing they do, and everything else is just modern day bull.
And then how about the carnival, in the backyard of Leatherface's house?
It starts off with them summing up the movie, and then it's meeting the cast, and all they show is subliminals for the next 30 minutes of the chick's ass with freaking.
It's a Texas Chainsaw movie. They gotta show the chick's ass.
Well, I'm saying they could have used that movie to show Grandpa.
Alexandra Daddario, 04, Smoking Hot. It wasn't even in Travis County, Texas. It was a different part of Texas, even though it was filmed in Louisiana. And get this, they have a carnival in his backyard.
When he's
Funhouse style. Another Tobe Hooper slasher film from 1981. Just totally boredom. If it didn't have a Texas Chainsaw title, it would have been like a sci-fi release with no theatrical release. That's what it feels like the whole time. And they do CGI gore deaths instead of props. And there's already old school horror fans who love to hate. Hey, just because that was a remake, the Platinum Dunes 2 remakes, of course it's not better than that. I mean, Next Generation, the 95 or the mid-90s film with Matthew McConaughey, that feels more like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film than this shit.
Yeah, that's what really took you out of it. It was the freaking 3D blood.
Oh, I know. It was like Final Destination, how they did all the CGI.
It wasn't even blood color. It was like a bright red. So you just didn't even.
It was literally CGI
blood. You
get
the feel of it being fake as hell. So you're like, oh, it's fake as hell. So that's what you're thinking about, not even thinking about the movie.
And you could tell the director, Jonathan Lusab, has never directed a horror film
what about
before.
the house? The house doesn't even look like a pigsty. It's well kept.
Oh yeah, they're like, what did Grandma do since she's so rich? Oh, I guess she dusted the whole place the whole time.
Every day, 'cause she ain't got shit to do.
While Leatherface just fed on human hands
in the basement
and got locked up at night.
After 3 doors down. 3 doors deep into the basement, you're feeding him.
Alexandra Daddario was hot.
Like he's a fucking gremlin, they're feeding him.
She was hot.
At midnight.
Of course, when she hides into the coffin part, and she's so emo she can't control her.
The white chick?
She can't control her emotions, so she starts to squeal because she's emo. And
what other movies is she from?
She was just like in TV series and whatnot. Basically being introduced to everyone for the first time.
Total loser.
From what I know. I pretty much... Oh, the Leatherface mask kind of sucked.
Definitely.
They totally ignored the date. They just called it August 19th instead of August 19th, 1973. The plot hole of her, she should have been like...
The first time you see his face is in the kitchen when she first shows up after he killed everyone.
You ready for spoilers for the ending?
And his face is...
He kills all her friends, or like half, or she saws one of them right in half, right in front of her face in the first part, and then by the end of the movie, he
notices the tattoo on her, the burn mark of the necklace.
Birthmark, and so she accepts it. She is a Sawyer, and she's like, oh, she throws him the chainsaw. She's like, here you go, cuz. And at this point, I just wanted to get up and flick the people who were bashing in their knee in the back of my seat and just walk out of there. Because you knew it was the ending anyway. And you're like, this is fucking terrible. And they both walk home back to the Sawyer house. That's totally not the Sawyer house. And you're like, what the fuck are they going to do? And they sit in the kitchen. And you're like, what the fuck are they going to do now? Warm up some fucking milk in the microwave and sit down? And go over a fucking Sawyer family photo book.
Because then you wait all like to the ending and they show a little end scene like where like after she inherited the house, like her freaking.
This is wrong. This is wrong. They totally underused the Drayton Sawyer character. He should have lived on. He lived a long life. He won all those cooking competitions. He had the best chili in Texas throughout the 70s and 80s. This is terrible. We didn't get any of that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the family feel. The setting, anything,
just what's her name's ass.
In the synopsis, they tell you that it's going to be over. That's just fucking horrible. Like,
it's pretty terrible.
If you're going to bring back all those people, I thought they were going to actually be in roles and throughout the film until we saw the trailer and the synopsis. But now, like, really, that's all? You got it all decked out and you got the old house all together just for like 2 minutes?
Scene's pretty hilarious when like the freaking. One of the guys.
I'm still gonna give it like a C-.
The main rowdy guy who freaking.
Hurry up and sum it up, asshole.
Shut the hell up, faggot. Okay, so the main night when he burned down the house, the main guy, the main antagonist or whatever, freaking, he was like, how's that happen? We burned down the house and the only one who survives is the Rita?
The main hick, and then they have a barbecue afterward, and you're like, where's the hog? And you're like, this is terrible. Alright, this was JBM and L-Mid from Mr. Creepshow 9, Villain News, our horror channel. Check us out, leave a comment. You could hate us now.